The character you see named the Quassie Little from Atlanta seemed to be possessed by an evil spirit. Somehow, he and two others had the contempt for life, where they shot into a drive-by shooting into a car and killed a 6-month-old baby. Luckily, he was caught. Now, he's alleged to be the shooter, so it's all alleged now. But if he is, if they find without a shadow of a doubt that he is the killer, no mercy on his soul. With crime, people being shot left and right. But people should go about their business in peace. There's a spirit, evil spirit around. Because even when I walk out, an evil spirit even could get into children. Because even when I walked out, going to the grocery store, minding my own business even, and this is true for other people, I felt attacked. It's through a spirit in others attacking me when I mind my own business. But that's if you clean out your spirit, if you have the Holy Spirit within you, could be sure that you will be attacked. But woe unto them that do such a thing. Woe upon them who want to attack those who carry the Holy Spirit within them. Woe and shame be upon them. They will reap what they sow. So hopefully the other two shooters, they will be caught and punished by man. Even though they may be punished by the Holy Spirit also, but may take time. But their punishment have to be immediately. Those shooting up for no good reason. 6-month-old boy did not do them any harm. But that's evil spirit somehow. And the church is not equipped or not powerful enough to confront that spirit. Because many times the evil spirit is in that church itself. And maybe even in the pastor. So that's a strong calling. But you got to be ready. You got to be through. Not to just set anybody up there. Because it may be the devil himself. But how come so many church and so much evil going around? But this young guy, the Quassie Little, the character name is, if he's guilty, be brought to justice. I said, starting now. Those murderers and killers. I say starting now, even though it was for thousands of years, justice and be made out to those who kill innocent people. But I'm saying again, starting every day, the spirit of justice, the Holy Spirit, the spirit that's cleansed, is going to cleanse things up. It's going to clean things up now. The spirit of evil. Now, talking about that, every time there's an article about the good that people, black people are doing, they always have to bring something negative. Something bad, and to downplay the good. For instance, there was a story about a man in Houston who turned his nightclub into a supermarket, well, hopefully to be a supermarket. And he's supported by the community. He's a black man. But after telling the story, they always have to bring up about how bad things are, and that black people need the supermarkets. It's like a desert, a food desert, and so forth. They have to. Why couldn't they just bring something good without bringing up the bad? Okay, the good could stand by itself. The same for the bank. There's a bank, I think called Citibank, a merger, where they now have $1 billion in asset because they merged a Washington, D.C. black-owned bank, or majority black-owned bank, merged with a bank in Los Angeles. And I think there's another bank that did the same thing. Okay, that's a good story. But why at the same, they bring up another story about how bad it is, and a black bank was closing up in the last 20 or so years. And that amount of money pales into what the white banks have. Okay, that's a story that should stand by itself. We know what they say is true, but why bring it up in the tail end of a story about something good? Let that story be separate. Okay, yes. Only $4.9 billion in all of the 21 or 22 black banks. That's appallingly a measly amount. Okay, that story stand by itself. Why they bring up that? And that Latino bank, they have 33, and they have an asset of $109 billion. And the Asian bank, I forgot how many they have, maybe 70 something. And they have even more billions, about 100 and, I forgot now, 170 or 137 billion. And then they bring up about the one bank, that Wells Fargo Bank, that one bank, white-owned bank, have almost $2 trillion. Okay, that is true. But that's the story that should be separate with the success of that one or two banks, black-owned banks. And it's black people's fault. Black Americans have over almost $2 trillion buying power. I know it's over 1.6. It may be almost nearing 2 trillion now. But where is that money going out to? How come a lot of that money could be put into the black-owned banks? And the black-owned banks should have at least, at the very least, $500 billion, all the black-owned banks by itself. If black people put the money into even half of the black people who bank, they put half of the money in the black-owned bank, and they could always put other half in the white-owned bank. The black-owned banks would have $500 billion and could make loans to black people, because that's where the bank get their money, not by the deposit. But they need the deposit in order to make the loans. They get their money by making loans and other asset building tactics, or maybe investment in safe stocks and so forth, but mainly by making loans. That's how the bank make their money. But they need deposits in order to make those loans. They need the money in order to loan the money. And black people, if they put their money into the bank, they're able to get loans more easily than they could from the white-owned bank. Okay, those. But things have to change in a hurry. Now, they say there's about 50,000 black Americans in Africa now. And it's growing. It's like a movement where they could find a little more peace. Not that there's no violence in Africa, there is. And there's scamp, but you got to be wise, just like in every place. This one guy on YouTube told how a black man from New York had a caretaker for his property, his land that he bought in Ghana. He bought the caretaker a house, built a house on the land. Even bought the caretaker a car to move around. That same caretaker sold his land illegally, without his permission, sold his land to a couple of Chinese who built 2 mansions on the land. So you be careful about doing good. Be careful about that. It's good to do good to get your blessing. But the evil spirit of greed, after he do so many good to the guy, the evil is a spirit, evil spirit of greed, said he want more. Oh my goodness, you got to use wisdom, and there's going to be some foolish people doing foolish things. So the guy is in Ghana, going before the court to try to get his property back. He should be successful if he has all the documents, so certificates, if he had the title. Hopefully he had a title to his land. And another story about a guy set up by a girl. This girl, I don't know if she's black, looked more Mexican or something like that, ambiguous. If she's black, it's a small amount of blackness in her. I don't know if she's black or not, or biracial or what. But more on the white side than anything, or the Mexican side. But this girl, this young guy, met this girl on a dating site over the internet. And it set it up for him to meet her. Now, when she came with some other people in the car. There was a couple of guys and another girl in the car. And he's foolish, and I've been like that also, so I'm not digging at him. But it was foolish, and as I said, I admit I've been foolish. I hope not to be so foolish as I was in the years past. But at my age now, 82, almost 82 in a couple of months, I've learned some wisdom, some. Not to say I cannot be fooled again, because evil spirits is around all the time around here. They attack me for no reason at all. But I've turned it back towards them. But anyway, they set him up and robbed him at gunpoint. Lucky he didn't get killed. He only lost about $20. He must be a young boy. They didn't say how old he is, but in order to go on a date for only $20. But that was good. That was wise. But they got his wallet, and I think his watch and his cell phone or something like that. They didn't get much, but they spared his life. He could have got shot. It could have been really bad. Forget about the little $20 and a cell phone. That's nothing. But he was set up, and you got to be wise. Wise as the serpent, and peaceful or calm as the dove. And now they always say the serpent is being wise, is a symbol of wisdom. Symbol of wisdom, the serpent. Even the serpent in the Adam and Eve myth. It's a symbol of a wise man, a conjurer. A wise man. And the serpent is is kind of sneaky and hides under a rock. And if you turn over that rock, you're liable to get bitten. But bring that full circle back to that guy called Quassie, or like a Quassie. And it's good that African Americans are making African American sounding names instead of slave name or European names, like the Quisha and all these other names. And that's good. It's good. It's not bad. Even there's people who want to ridicule it, make fun of those names, but it's a good thought and to invent your own name. Because you see Caucasian people want to name everything and claim everything. They name all the African countries. They name land Africa itself. They name all of their gods that we are calling every day. When we call the name of the week, why is it weak? It should be strong. Why is there mourning when it should be joy? But they name everything. That's like Thomas Sankara named Burkina Faso, mean land of the kings, or something like that. And talking about Burkina Faso, there's another thought, one thought leads to another, that all of the African countries, 3 of the African countries that had a coup in the last 18 months, all 3 was French-speaking countries. Chad, Mali, Burkina Faso, under the French domination still. The French is a Cupid, a Culprit, not Cupid, of the evil doing. But the harm will come back upon them. This is the time of judgment. Time for our reparation and resurrection.